right, y'all, we're on module number 5. We are moving along. We are moving. Let's go. So, guys, I am super excited that you've made it this far. I feel like a lot of people would have fell off by now. But if you made it to module number 5, that means you are serious about your financial journey and the fact that you know that you have somewhere to go and you know that it's not going to be just given to you. We put ourselves in a hole and we just have to climb our way out of this hole. And this is exactly what we're doing. So I just wanted to make sure I encourage you guys to keep going. So what we're doing in module number 5 is we are building our buffer and we're learning how to ball out. All right. So what we're doing here is when I talk about building a buffer, that means that there's something called an emergency fund. So the buffer is building the emergency fund, meaning that if we have an emergency, a lot of times what we have the tendency to do is we have the tendency to swipe a credit card because we don't have money saved for emergencies. If you have lived any length of time, you understand that life happens, things come up, they're unexpected, things in your house break, accidents happen. Your deductible is $500 for your car, or you have to put in a claim for your house and it's $1,000. So we need to build a buffer for those things that happen, that come up, that are truly emergencies. Here's just a few things that an emergency is not. An emergency is not going to go hang out with your girls, going out to dinner and buying drinks and food and all that stuff. If you cannot afford it, that is not an emergency. An emergency is not a vacation that you cannot afford currently. Okay. So just understand what an emergency is and what emergency is not. An emergency is if your hot water goes out, hot water heater goes out, and you need to get it repaired. If you get in an accident and you got to put your car into the shop, if your tires blow or something of that nature, that isn't a truly an emergency. That's what the emergency fund is for. Rule of thumb to me is $1,500. If you can only save $1,000 at the time, I'm fine with that as well. So anywhere, let's just say $1,000 to $1,500. So if we can save that when we're doing our budget, and again, a module or two from now, we're going to get to the budget. We're going to put everything together. So everything that we're learning up to this point, we're going to then build our budget, and we're going to show you exactly how to ball out. So we need to build it on our budget where we're saving away for an emergency fund. Now, the emergency fund, if you have a bank account, checking account, then you can most likely go to your bank, say, hey, I want to open up a savings account. You call it whatever you want. Emergency savings, you call a savings account. But as long as you know that you can get to that money and have it transferred into your account just in case you need it within a day or two, that's fine. My wife and I, we have our emergency savings in a totally separate bank that we have to transfer the money to, and it's going to take a day or two for us to actually get the money. So you can do that, or if you want to do it for your primary checking account, your primary bank, and then add a savings component to that. So if you have an emergency and you need to use the emergency fund, you have the money sitting there and it's accessible. So we need to build that in our into our budget. And what's going to happen is that it's going to make you sleep easier at night because most times people use their credit card as an emergency fund. So God forbid something happens, comes up, okay, well, hey, I got $5,000 on this credit card. I'm going to go ahead and swipe it now. What happens is we have all the intentions in the world of paying the credit card back before the interest payments hit. But what happens is life happens again, and then something else comes up, and then we end up not paying the emergency credit card back, and then we're ended up paying 28%, 15%, 18%, whatever your interest rate is for that credit card. And now you're paying 18% more, 20% more, 25 to 28% more of the thing that you had paid for in the very beginning. And that is a wealth killer. So we want to take our reliance off of credit cards and we want to put the reliance back on ourselves. But we have to set it up that way. So if you do not have an emergency fund currently, this is exactly what we need to do, and we're going to build it in your budget. Just bear with me. We're going to put everything together, okay? Also, if you are at the point where you do have an emergency fund, beautiful. Because ultimately, what we want to do is we want to have our emergency fund, a little baby starter emergency fund of 1,500 bucks, 1,000 to 1,500 bucks, and then we want to reduce our expenses down, like pay off our debts. And then once we pay them off, then we want to set up a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. So again, what we're doing is we're building something here, right? So once we have our 3 to 6 months of emergency, that's when life really gets good. But we have to get there first. But what I was going to say before I went off on a tangent, excuse me, is that uh, you can build, and when I was talking about ball out earlier, is we can ball out by going on vacations, going to nice dinners, uh, things like that. And the way we do that is we build it in our budget. So my wife and I, we have a vacation fund, right? We also have a Christmas fund. So what that is when we're doing our budget on a monthly basis, we build which is a fixed cost, right? We build a certain amount for Christmas. We build a certain amount for vacations. We build a certain amount for dinners and date nights and things like that we want to go on. And based on what we have going on to take care of our four walls first, then whatever monies we have left over that are not going towards debts and things of that nature, then that goes into those categories. So then when we go to the vacation or we go on a date or we spend money for Christmas, we're not killing ourselves again using credit cards, burying ourselves deeper and deeper in the hole. That's what we're trying to get away from. So we're trying to take the reliance off of the credit cards and we're building something to put the reliance on ourselves. And I'm telling you, if you do this, if you do the things that we're talking about, you're going to sleep better at night. If you are married, you and your spouse are going to have a more blissful marriage because one of the number one reasons for divorce is money. So if you're building something financially that's going to take care of your future and take care of the leaks in your boat, and also you're going to be able to go on nice vacations because you planned it that way and you built it that way, I'm telling you, man, life is a lot sweeter. Life gets a lot sweeter, and it just gives you something, one less thing to have to worry about or argue about with your spouse. So in this module, we are going to so in this module, we're going to build the buffer and we're going to show you how to ball out. So that's what we're doing. So do not move to the next module until you've identified if you have an emergency fund, if you have an emergency savings, and if you do, how much is in that actual savings? If you have 1,000, if you have 1,500, beautiful. If you have more than that, even better. So the next module we're going to talk about is how to put everything together. We're going to put everything together. So the next module that we go through, which is module number 6, or that's probably going to be the longest module because we're actually going to put the budget together line by line by line, and we're going to go through a few different scenarios that's going to give you an idea of what you should be doing if you have this taken care of, or if you don't have this taken care of, what you need to be doing in some different scenarios. So bear with me, stick with me. I'm telling you, we're going places, man. This information that I'm giving you guys um, has been life changing for my wife and I. I'm telling you. So please, please stick with me, but do not move forward until you've identified where you are. Do you have an emergency fund? And what that emergency fund entails? How much is it? How easy can you get to it? All right, let's get it, y'all. We almost home. We almost home.